Let me know in the comments. Any times that you have lost motivation, have you noticed um, you being excited about maybe a program that you've created or a product that you have been excited to sell? And then, or even signing up. Have you signed up for a course or program that you really want, that you really felt excited about, only to lose interest in it a few days later, or a few weeks later, whatever, and never actually finishing it? Let me know in the comments. Let me know in the comments, especially right, like especially now, being that it's almost mid-January. Um, we all have our goals, right? Hopefully, you guys have written out your goals and have planned out how to achieve your goals this year. If you haven't done that, I'm going to remind you guys to keep doing that. Okay, I'm going to remind you guys to get that piece of paper out and to write down what it is the hell that you want. Okay, and when you want it by. It doesn't take that long. Okay, so, and I totally get it. You know, life happens. Like for me today, right? I was motivated to end the week on a high note. I knew that I wanted to come in here at 9 o'clock and do this amazing quick training for you guys on why you lose motivation. Unfortunately, I didn't lose motivation. I had an outside situation that I needed to take care of with my child, and that was it. But for others, they lose motivation, and then they never go back to that thing they wanted to do. They never finish a task, right? If you are one of those people, for example, that signs up for courses or changes careers a lot, okay, I'm going to tell you a little story really quick about how when I was younger, a lot younger, hi Whitney, good morning. When I was younger in my 20s, I would start a project and I would get bored. I would get bored of it. It was not interesting to me. And so it wasn't until my 30s, mid 30s, that I would follow through more with the things that I had signed up to do, because it was more exciting, because I really did want to do that. And I didn't have the influence of others around me telling me what I should be doing. Okay. And I followed my own guts. I followed my own dreams. For example, the flight attendant, I became a flight attendant, and on my second try, for those of you who don't have never heard these stories, becoming a flight attendant is actually a little difficult, because you have to look a certain way, you have to be a certain height. I barely made it because I'm 5'3", so I barely made it. What helped me was failing the first time when it was back in what was it, first right during September 11th, actually. I had applied for American Airlines, and I actually got the passed all the prerequisites and the pre-interviews. There's like 3 pre-interviews, and then 9/11 happened, and of course they started letting go of a lot of people. So I didn't go to that training, and then I applied for JetBlue the second time a few years later, and I did get that, and I worked for them for almost 3 years, and it was one of my favorite jobs until it wasn't. And I hope like I loved it until I didn't. And so why I decided to choose this topic as a learning lesson for you guys is because a lot of the time when you're choosing the things that you want to do, the careers that you want to do, you're choosing it from a place of this idea that you created in your head of how wonderful it's going to be. Maybe you saw it in a movie. Maybe it's the hot thing right now. Like right now, the hot thing is being a coach. I've been a coach for 2 years, and it's hard. It's hard to be responsible for someone else's mind. It's hard to be responsible when you're coaching someone. If you fuck up, you're fucking up someone's life. You're fucking up someone's bank account. Okay, so anytime anybody comes to me and asks me, "Oh yeah, what you do seems kind of cool. I think I can do that." You think nothing. Okay, if you are not fired up to do the thing that you want to do something else, or do nothing. Okay, get yourself a regular job until you find that thing that sets such a fire on you that sparks this motivation, undying motivation that no matter what comes in your life, no matter what shows up, no matter what hurdles or challenges comes your way, you continue to move forward and you continue to try to achieve your goals, right? Um, Give me a one if you've ever, you know, let something go because just didn't want to do it anymore. Let me know. I'm curious. I'm curious. I'm curious. So when you have this idea of this thing that you kind of want to do because it's either the hot thing right now or because somebody else seems like they're making a lot of money doing it and you want the money, you're not doing it for the right reasons. Okay. Remember, everything with energy, when it comes with energy exchange and when it comes to karma and when it comes to alignment, you have to operate from a place of love and light and also following um, your own intuition, your own dreams, okay, for the right reasons. If you do something from the beginning with the wrong reasons and the wrong intentions, um, being unclear about what it actually takes to achieve X, Y, and Z, you're not going to be successful. You're going to hit something's going to come along and you're going to hit another plateau or you're going to have another challenge, and then you're not going to want to invest in yourself. You're not going to see the value in achieving that goal, and you're going to move on to other things. What is that saying that I totally love? Jack of all trades, master of none. You don't want to be that person. And I was that person for a long time. I really was. See, but I did it, and I was very well aware of, I don't want to do this anymore. I'm not going to continue to do something I don't like. And I'm going to continue to find what it is that I really, really want to do. The longest thing I've done in my life is being an author. I've been writing for over 10 years. Well, actually, I wrote my first poem at 12. And I put that poem in my first poetry book that's been published. Shit, my daughter's over 8 years ago, 9 years ago. So I've been writing for a really, really long time. That is my longest career. Um, and nothing ever, like, I took breaks. Of course, I took breaks. If, when I had my children, when I was traveling with my ex-husband, I took breaks. When with writing, it's really different because with writing, inspiration, and you have to come up with a storyline. So it's a process, but never in my dreams would I ever consider, like, never writing again. So the point with this training is to give you an idea as far as what happens and why, right? So motivation is challenging to maintain, right? It's a very challenging thing to maintain after the initial excitement wears off, right? And it's going to wear off. It's going to wear off if it's not coming from the right places. So you have this idea and it's all fun. Oh my God, yeah, this seems fun. Maybe I will be location independent. I could be a virtual assistant. I could be a social media manager. And I'm talking to you like a 12-year-old. Yes, I am right now. Fuck yeah, because I'm a mom. I'm a mom, and that's the way I'm going to fucking talk. And I say this with love, people. I want you to know that I say this 100% with love, and I am not at all making fun of you. Um, Liz will tell you, she's known me now for, I think, for a year and change. When I first started coaching, that I speak in my way with pure love and light. Okay, but for some reason I keep picturing my kid, my 7-year-old. She is the one that I spend the most time with, and we're both homebodies. We both like to be home, so I hear her voice in my head when I'm doing this voice. So please bear with me and don't take it personal. But I'm like, and she does this too. Actually, she does this too. Come to think of it, where she's like, "Oh, I want to play piano, but I don't want to. I don't want to lesson because I know it all." And and she got a piano and she needs lessons. And I want to do gymnastics, but I don't want to compete. And I'm trying to teach her how, being on a team means supporting your team. And part of that is if if you're good at what you do, you should support your team by competing. And she doesn't like to compete, and that's a hassle. So, so anyway, you're planning, you have this idea of how much fun it's going to be. because you were laying on the couch one day and all of a sudden something pops in your head and how fun. Oh my God, this would be so much fun. And then I could make money at it, right? Wow, how nice. I can have a lot of money in my bank account if I do this, right? And it's in your head and you're visualizing all the steps you need to take. And then what happens? And then you actually have to sit down and do the work and you realize, fuck, this is not fun. This is not what I just wanted to sit there. I just wanted to sit there and coach. And I'm going to keep using that as an example because I keep seeing an influx of people want to be coaches. And there's nothing wrong with that because everyone has their own way of coaching. But there's still work to be done, right? A model, for example, a model doesn't just sit there and look pretty. I went to the gym here in Bangkok. They have class pass. And went a few, I think it was a week ago to try out a new class. And it was a buns and abs class. And it was me, 41-year-old, 2 kids, coach, work from home. And the rest of the group, there was 4 or 5 other girls, models, international models, young as hell, skinny. And I'm looking at them like, wow, they work out. I thought they didn't have to work out. But they work out, right? They put in the effort. They work out and they have to be on a diet and they can't dye their hair whatever they want. They can't cut their hair the way they want, right? Because they have an agency. It's not just sitting there and looking pretty and taking a picture. And that goes with every career that you want, right? And a career is not a career if you're not making enough money to pay your bills and survive. It's a hobby up until then. So the hardest part out of anything that you do, right, is you take the first step. Morning, Chris. Hey, Chris. You take the first step and then you realize how difficult it's going to be and then you stop. So you need to acknowledge the fact that maybe you really didn't want to do this. It didn't come with the right intentions. Okay. The second thing is distractions. So number 2 on why you lose motivation is because you're distracted. Maybe you're distracted by life. You haven't really planned out that you need to carve out a few hours out of the day when you were first starting a business, or when you're first starting on switching careers. There's still research that has to be done. You might have to take a course somewhere. You might have to update your credentials. There's always stuff to do, right? And you get distracted. You get distracted by life. You get distracted because subconsciously it's a little difficult and you don't realize how difficult it's going to be. So you tell yourself, oh, I'll get to it later, right? Hello. See, I don't know if it's Chris or Whitney. It just tells me one eyeball. So hello if you're joining. Say hello. The third thing on the list of why you get this, why you lose motivation is because you're focused on the results. You're focused so much on the results, on what you could make from X, Y, and Z, right? On the end goal, that you haven't been realistic with yourself and honest enough with yourself to really accept the fact that the process might be a difficult one, okay? If it was easy for everybody to be a model, we'd all be models. If it was easy for everybody to be an entrepreneur, we'd all be entrepreneurs, right? But in the beginning, when you start something, there is some effort that you have to put in. There is effort, investment, okay? Investment in time, investment of your fucking sanity, investment of your energy, investment of your money, okay? There's different types of investments that you can put in there. And that investment also takes away, if you don't plan it out correctly, can take time away from your loved ones, can take time away from your kids, your husband. And then that triggers a domino effect, right? Of being resented. Your husband says, hey, I know you want to do this hobby. You're doing this hobby thing right now. And you're like, it's not a hobby. It's my new career. And he's like, yeah, well, you're not making any money and you're not doing anything around the house. So it's a hobby. And I'm saying this from experience, okay? I'm 100% saying this from experience. And so then you lose motivation from that. So do you see like the trickle? Do you see the domino effect of how it happens? So then you don't have the support of your loved ones anymore because you didn't plan out the right way, right? For you, because the right way for you is not going to be the right way for everybody else because everybody has a different home life dynamic. Everyone has a different way of processing information. Everyone has different goals. So the process for you to keep motivated in order to reach your goals is going to be different. Okay. Um, you might need to do micro goals. Some people do better with micro goals. Some people do better, tackling the big things up front. I am that person. I can tackle the bigger things and then work on the little things. For my brain has always been like that. I play chess for fun, and I still need to find a chess player, chess partner that I can play with in Bangkok. Not a lot of people play chess, apparently. Um, and so figuring out the way that you learn best, figuring out the way that you accomplish goals best is 100% important to continuing to have motivation as you move forward with your goals for this year, whatever those goals are. Odds are that if you take the time to sit down with yourself and look back in your life all the times that you started something and didn't finish it, there is going to be a cycle there that you can dissect, right? And figure out where you stopped. That way you know exactly what your trigger is. So for example, if looking back you say, okay, well, I started X, Y, and Z project and I didn't finish because it took too long, or I didn't finish because it required research and I didn't have the time to research. Figure out what part, what dynamic were you unable to invest, right? What dynamic were you unable to invest? And then that's where you should focus your efforts. That's where you should say, okay, well, I set this goal for myself, and this is what happened the last time I tried to do something like this, and this is where I got caught up. This is where I stopped, and this is where I didn't finish, and I didn't achieve my goal. How can I set myself up for when this, if and when this comes up again, I can now move forward, and I have the tools necessary, and I have the backup plan necessary, and for it not to stop me, not to deter me, and so that I can continue to move forward. Let me know if that makes sense. All right. A quick mindset thing that you guys can do in the meantime as you are going through the year and trying to tackle these goals and is to make a list on your victories, the things that you accomplished every day, which is why journaling is very important, especially as moms, right? Especially as parents and husbands and wives, when you're not alone and you have someone else with you in your home, when you have a partner or whatever family dynamic you have, you now have someone in your life that you do need to make time for. You do need to nurture your relationships, right? Unless you're single and you can take time off from your friends and your family and say, okay, I'm going to focus for the next few weeks on my business. I can do that. And it's awesome if you can. But if you can't, then what happens is you're gonna be so busy during the day, doing X, Y, and Z with the family here, and then carving time out, doing something with your business here, and then taking time out for yourself for self-care. That what's going to happen is the end of the day is going to come. You're going to be so tired. You're going to, not even be able to function by the end of the day. It's going to be just to wake up to start the cycle all over again. And by the end of like week 1, week 2, you're not even going to be able to remember the victories that you've had, right? You're not going to be able to sit there and say, wow, like today, I set up my email list. Really cool. Or I got my banner done for my social media, or, I contacted X, Y, Z potential customers. Those are victories. Those are things that you can write down and say, okay, I may not have done, this one big thing I really wanted to do, but I tackled these little things. And like I said, what's minimal for you might be something very important to someone else based on what their goals are. So, pat yourself on the back with every victory that you achieve as each day passes, because you're going to feel good. It's going to give you energetically, it's going to raise your vibration where you feel good about yourself. Then it's going to raise your confidence. So you're going to be confident that you have actually seen some progress in the end result, right? And then what happens is that you get addicted to that feeling. You get addicted to the confidence. You get addicted to saying, yeah, you know what, I got this. It's supposed to be a little difficult. It's supposed to be. It is. Okay. And slowly but surely you will be seeing results. And that might not in the beginning, it might not be these huge results, but there are results along the way. Number four, the number four reason why you might lose motivation after taking action is because maybe you're too concerned about what others think. Remember what I said about if you have a partner that after a while not seeing the money coming in, right? They start they start becoming resentful that you're no longer doing your wifely duties or your husband duties, and um, and then that affects you. That affects you because you are concerned about what your partner thinks. You're in a partnership. You are supposed to be concerned about what they think. Um, it's important, but it's important to be motivated internally. Do not seek motivation externally because you are going to be highly disappointed. Okay. What that does subconsciously is you're diverting responsibility from yourself onto others, especially if you have a partner. You're saying, well, you didn't support me, so I didn't do it. Bullshit. You didn't do it because you didn't do it. Okay. And this is what we do subconsciously. This is why mindset work is so important. And working on self love, self acceptance, um, and and building up your confidence, right, is important because when you rely on others, you're going to just use that as an excuse. Okay, you just are. Um, Sorry, guys. This one is important. I have to message. Um, okay. So you have to reach inside yourself and find a very personal reason for chasing your goal. When you attach your goal to something personal to you, it will help drive you to overcome those challenges and obstacles that come along that try to deter you. Now, keep in mind that energetically speaking and karma speaking, you are going to have your own sets of obstacles and challenges that come up because it is your karma. You're here on this earth to learn, okay, to overcome past lives mistakes, right? If in the past um, uh, you took advantage of people in a past life, odds are that people are going to take advantage of you, okay, and vice versa. And so energetically speaking, it's going to fuck you up along the way, okay? If you signed a soul contract where you signed away the rights to being a millionaire and to being successful, yes, it has happened to a lot of people. Um, then you need to do the work to eliminate that soul contract and to delete that soul contract. And there are ways to do that. We won't get into it in this video because that's not what this video is about. I've gone through mine, and I will be doing more because sometimes, people are reincarnated more than once, right? So that's going to be more than one soul contract. So there's that option as well. Okay. So reaching inside yourself and attaching your goal with something personal, you will have more of a chance of completing your goal and moving forward. Okay. Ooh, my throat is so dry. So dry. Okay. I'm going to tell you something now that might trigger some people. And that's the whole point of growth. If something triggers you, is because you're supposed to take this as a learning experience and find out why it triggers you, deal with it, and move forward. Our minds and bodies don't like discomfort. We are naturally driven to seek comfort. Some seek more comfort than others. When you've been conditioned to be in a victim mode and to use excuses as your weight, right? As your reason, then what's going to happen is no matter how much momentum you have in the beginning, of your goals, you're going to psych yourself out of it. And in that process, you are going to blame it on someone else because of your comfort, because you seek someone to comfort you along the way. Okay. Your mind is going to be fighting with you on some level when you spend time doing something that's not enjoyable. Okay. So as you check off those goals that you've written for 2020, if something on there is making you uncomfortable, you're gonna fight it on some subconscious level. Okay. To counteract this, you have to find something you like about that thing. Maybe, okay, tackling this specific action that makes me uncomfortable will allow me to X, Y, and Z. Will move me forward by X, Y, and Z, right? See it in that perspective. You have to see it from a perspective of how will this benefit you, okay? And that might include sales calls. That might include reaching out to potential clients. That might include getting dressed, leaving the house, doing your makeup, doing your hair, okay? I do not go to networking events the way I look most of the time when I'm doing calls with you guys, having my coffee in the morning. Obviously not, right? And I don't like it. I don't like having to get dolled up and go out to in order to network with people. But unfortunately, we live in a society where how you look, right, matters, and how you present yourself in the first meeting matters. And so sometimes you also have to take into account that there are things out of our control that we kind of have to play by the rules in a sense. Yes, you can create a business and create your own based around your own rules, and you don't have to follow other people's rules. But when you're taking yourself outside of outside of the bubble that you created, in order to bring people in it, sometimes you have to step outside of that. Sometimes you have to step outside of your comfort zone in order to take more action and sometimes it's a specific action that needs to be done as you step out of your comfort zone in order to achieve that goal, right? That to see that end result that you're trying to achieve. Okay, let me know if this makes sense, guys, to you. And if it doesn't, please write in the comments if you have a question about anything that I'm saying, because like I said, everybody's perception is different and we absorb information differently. Okay, so as you plan, guys, okay, this is a quick training. As you plan for your future, ask yourself, okay, what is it that I'm actually planning? Why am I planning this? Okay, how am I going to make sure that I overcome any obstacles that come along my way? Where in the past have I let an obstacle or challenge deter me from achieving my goals? And how can I guarantee that I don't let this happen again? And those are the questions that you need to write out. Those are the questions that you need to journal on and really ask yourselves and be honest with yourselves so that you can celebrate your victories, so that you can celebrate every day, every action that you make, every new behavior that you embody. Okay. Internal motivation will always beat external motivation over long periods of time. Okay. Because that initial burst of excitement is going to fade away quickly. Okay. Your goal, your focus is to stay the course, right? To know what your triggers are, to have a plan, a real, like, achievable plan for your goals. And of course you're going to achieve your goals. Of course it's going to be possible for you. But you can't just, not have clarity on your goals. You have to be clear. You have to know what your triggers are of when things come up. If you are not confident in selling, if you're not confident in talking to people, if you're not confident about your products or your services, whatever it is, you have to be really honest about that and say, okay, what is worst scenario? If this happens, what can I do? How can I prepare myself better? And also money wise, if you need to make an investment for whatever reason, if you need to make an investment, if you're selling products online, do you need to buy them in bulk? That's an investment, right? So if you need to invest money in your business, how can you do that without it affecting, other parts of your mindset? For example, especially if this is going to be your only income, or you're limited on income, and then, okay, I bought this in bulk and that was $100 or $200 or more. Sometimes, a lot of times it's more of an investment. How can I guarantee I'm going to get this back? You really should have an action plan. You really should have things written out. Okay. If you haven't taken advantage of your 15-minute complimentary call with me, and I totally suggest that you take advantage of that for this specific examples that for these specific examples that I'm giving you right now, in regards to goal setting, in regards to Mills, I had this plan and I really wanted to fill up my course. I really wanted to fill up my program, or I really wanted to have 3 new clients this month. And I was all gung ho, and then nothing happened after a week. Or 2 weeks later, I wasn't talking about it anymore. These are the things that a coach can help you with. Okay, these are the things that I can help you with. And so you got 15 minutes of free time with me. Every member of this group gets one 15-minute call, and we can tackle one of those things. We could, if you have a clear indication, okay, I know what happened. I need to find out how to fix this, and that's what I'm here for. So I would definitely suggest that you take advantage of that complimentary call, and we can tackle at least one of those things for you. Okay, and then you can also figure out, like, firsthand how I coach and how my coaching can benefit you in the long run. Okay. So also a quick reminder, please take advantage of the free training in this group. The links are in the announcements. That's what they're there for. If you have any questions, comments, or editorial opinions, pop them in the comments section. Also, when you watch the replay, use the hashtag replay. I want to know who's active. It shows me who's active. It shows me who's watched the videos. Okay. I will always reach out to those that participate. So whenever I have like a special, or whenever I have something amazing coming up, the ones that participate are the ones that are going to get my most attention, because I want you guys to be successful. And you're already showing me that you are committed to overcoming your blocks, overcoming your challenges, to being successful. Hi, good morning. Venice. Did I say it right? Venice. Good morning. And I want you guys to be successful, because what's the point? If not, I'm talking to a brick wall. And for that, I can just talk to my 7-year-old, to be honest. Half the time she tells me, I don't know what you're talking about, Mommy. I don't want to talk about it anymore. And she told me that the other day. So good. Perfect. I'm glad I said it correctly. So yes, take a minute and check out all the freebies that are here. And if there's any questions, like I said, comments or editorial opinions, reach out to me. That's what I'm here for. So thanks again for tuning in. Again, sorry, 2 hours late. Couldn't help it. Such is life. But the free training is here for you guys. And I hope you guys, are able to take some nuggets out of this and implement it in your life and your business right now, so you can start seeing more momentum. Okay. I'll talk to you guys next time. Bye.